Bad Boy Production is proud to present. Bad Boy Production is proud to present.
How do I feel at this moment being a black man? It's crazy. Just put it that way.
Things are really hard being black, but it's even harder growing up in Baltimore.
The pace of violence in Baltimore can feel relentless. Almost every day offers up another shooting. Today, there's more.
You say we want to get rid of crime, and then once the person serves their time and come back out, you tell them they can't live in public housing, they can't get health insurance, they can't get certain jobs. So how do they live?
Being a man, especially a black man, you can't show weakness. You can't you can't cry. You can't show that you have feelings. You can't show that you have compassion. It's so much, because if you show these things, it's considered to be weak.
A lot of the fathers is gone now, so there's nobody here to guide the kids. So they turn to all the negative things because there's nobody here to guide them.
It's not a war on drugs. Don't ever think it's a war on drugs. It's a war on the blacks. It started as a war on the blacks. It's now spread to Hispanics and poor whites, but initially it was a war on blacks. And it was designed basically to take that energy that was coming out of the civil rights movement and destroy it.
It's already hard enough pretty much trying to maintain, trying to do the right things. But it seems like even when you're doing the right things, there's always something that you're doing wrong. So you don't just have to watch out for the police. You still got to watch out for people in your neighborhood. And when you're not in the neighborhood, it's so much.
According to a 2003 report from the Bureau of Justice, if current incarceration rates remain unchanged, 1 in 3 black men can expect to go to prison in their lifetime.
You have to show that you have a drug criminal problem. So how do you do that? Through arrest.
At a time when drug crime was actually on the decline, not on the rise.
We went crazy arresting people for crack cocaine because of this so-called epidemic that we were having.
Incarceration rates began to just soar off the charts.
And we just put tons of black people in prison.
More arrests meant more federal money. It's a system that still exists today in the form of federal job stimulus and other US Department of Justice grants for crime control and community policing.
Getting beat up by the police was the norm. Shot at, drive-bys every day. That was just normal shit for me growing up. It was always a problem. It was always these hoops and hurdles you had to jump over that I always had to jump over trying to get a job back then, just trying to do the right thing, being young. But see, the crazy part is, it's never hard to get a gun. It's never hard to get someone to front you to sell drugs. That's not hard. You don't need a resume for that. You don't need to fill out a credit application to get a gun. It's easier for me, honestly speaking, to go out here and get a gun. It's easier for me to go out here and get fronted to sell drugs. Growing up, being poor, not having, or, having a single parent, my mom trying to work 2 jobs and go to school and still try to take care of us, it was crazy.
And this is all they know. So they're going into this world. They know the dangers there, But what they have is no choice. And the way the game is rigged, they can't win. I mean, the number of guys that actually survive the corner to get into mid-level drug dealing so they can get away from the corner, they're few and far between.
Growing up in a poor neighborhood in Baltimore means the odds are stacked against you.
And so we have a school-to-prison pipeline operating in Baltimore and in other cities across the nation where young people believe with some good reason that their destiny lies behind bars and they too will become members of the undercast.
These kids are just chewed up and spit out. And they're broken, they get the criminal record, they can't get jobs, you know, they go to prison, they come home. The same thing repeats itself until their bodies eventually break down.
So she was never home or really there to kind of really discipline us, you know? So, you know, I turned to the streets. That's what we did. That's what I did. No matter what you do or no matter what I do, it's never good enough. It's like being in this fucking sunken place that you just can't get out of. Because every time you feel like you're climbing out, something always hits you. Something always is trying to bring you down. The child support, the baby mamas, because she didn't get the child support. Something like going on in the streets, you just trying to get to your destination. It's always something. You can't lash out or go off because you snapping just a little bit will pretty much potentially either get you killed or fuck up the rest of your life. I don't know. How do I feel being a black man? I feel blessed that I'm still here to see the day. I mean, you know, it's always been crazy. It's like it's second nature to always hear another black man has been killed by the police and pretty much nothing happens. That's just normally the whole thing of it. You know, black man gets shot jogging down the street. People don't get arrested for days on end. It's just crazy because being a black man, especially being a black man in America and then in Baltimore, is crazy. It's a lot.
10 years ago, we was asking with the Panthers. We was asking with them, you know, with civil rights movement. We was asking, you know, now those people that were asking, they're all dead and in jail. So now what do you think we're gonna do?